Thank, thank you very much. Please down. Senate President Franklin Drilon, Secretary Albert Rosario, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, His Excellency Zhao Jianhua, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Philippines, His Excellency Asif Anwar Ahmed, Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to the Philippines, His Excellency Neil Reeder, Ambassador of Canada to the Philippines, Secretary Marojas, Chairman Francis Tolentino, of course the very able and energetic Representative Sinaida Angping, Dr. Alfonso C. You know, one of the highlights of attending the FFCCCII meetings is to hear Pastor San Pedro and the very energetic speeches of Dr. Alfonso C. The FFCCCII Honorary Presidents, Mr. Jimmy Tang, Dr. Robin C., Dr. John Tan, Dr. Alfonso Uy, and of course, Tito Doming Lee, Mr. Angel Ngu, members of the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and fellow workers of government, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, again, good evening. It is becoming a tradition for us to meet multiple times a year. In fact, this is our third meeting in just 6 months. Your organization has always worked to give back to the communities that have helped your respective businesses succeed. This is why, whenever I receive an invitation from you, I always try to make room in my schedule. In every meeting that we have had, you have made it a point to share some good news with me, whether it is in the form of a partnership with government to develop businesses or a long-term commitment to aid calamity-stricken communities. This time, perhaps, you will allow me to be the bearer of welcome news regarding an issue that has been a concern to many of you. It is my hope that the burden on the operations of your businesses will be significantly lessened now that the 24-hour express lane for trucks passing through the cities of Manila, Caloocan, Pasay, Makati, and Parañaque has been approved. Our gathering today serves as a reminder of what can be achieved when selfless contribution triumphs over merely protecting oneself, and when the greater good is pursued instead of individual gains. In 2 days, we will be celebrating the 116th anniversary of the proclamation of our independence. Today, we have the opportunity to highlight the invaluable contributions not just of your organization, but also of the countless Chinese Filipinos who have sacrificed, whether in small or large part, in uplifting their families and communities, thus enabling them to take part in building a nation that is not only free, but also more just and more equitable. It is that spirit of dedicated service and sincere sacrifice that we celebrate here, a spirit that likewise burned within our forefathers as they fought for our freedom 116 years ago. It is the same spirit that Chinese Filipinos such as General Ignacio Paua during the Filipino-American War and General Vicente Lim during the Second World War demonstrated as they fought with utmost loyalty and bravery for the right of our countrymen to live with dignity on their own soil. Generations have passed since then, but that same spirit can still be seen in our brave servicemen who, despite facing certain disadvantages at times, remain determined to fulfill their sworn duty of protecting our people. That same commitment is very much alive in the volunteer firefighters who serve communities through the fire brigades you have set up, or in the members of your federation who have continuously opened doors of meaningful opportunity for our fellow Filipinos and have contributed resources towards the benefit of the majority. Take, for instance, your ongoing efforts to build classrooms for our public schools. In sum, your federation has donated more than 9,200 classrooms, which have helped address the needs of students all over the nation. Even when my predecessor claimed that there was no more classroom shortage under her administration, a claim only lent truth because they had students come to school in shifts. Your federation continued to focus on actually building what was needed. This only proves that even when it was difficult to hope for meaningful change, your commitment to our people as responsible and productive members of Filipino society remained strong. Today, however, we are able to go from strength to strength. In stark contrast with the past, when the government served as an obstacle to the growth of industry and to development, I assure you, our administration will continue partnering with you in pursuit of a prosperity that truly benefits all. All your endeavors, from assisting government in eliminating the resource gap in classrooms, which we inherited, to helping our countrymen recover from disaster, from developing business and enterprise, to promoting Philippine-made products, from funding your own fire brigades, to providing resources in the maintenance of peace and order, only prove that Filipinos will always stand ready to extend a hand to their fellow Filipinos. All your efforts do not only suggest just how much our federation can contribute, but more importantly, these serve as concrete examples that encourage all of us, whether in government or the private sector, to work even harder towards our shared success. As President, I cannot overstate the gratitude of our countrymen to your organization. You could have chosen to devote your resources, time, and energy to simply finding ways to expand your businesses and secure a better future only for those you personally know and care about. But instead, you have also dedicated yourselves towards improving the plight of many Filipinos, thus helping jumpstart a virtuous cycle of empowerment, equitable development, and ultimately collective advancement. And just as you have chosen to do right by our people, let me guarantee you that my administration will continue to work towards protecting the rights of our people by combating corruption and upholding the rule of law in every aspect of governance. This, I believe, is the greatest tribute we can give to the many who have fought for our freedom, ensuring that the Filipino people will have the wherewithal to rise from poverty, injustice, and oppression. While we know that much remains to be done, I believe that our vision is within reach. Just as we have shown in the past that meaningful change can be achieved, that trust in government can be restored, and that by treading the straight path to progress, together we can overturn decades of neglect and misgovernance. I know that with our continued partnership, we can collectively achieve our shared aspirations, not just for our nation, but with all nations of goodwill. It is, after all, in our best interest to constantly deepen the friendship we hold with all our neighbors, both large and small. It is through this that we foster an international environment of fairness, reason, harmony, and stability, a regional and global order that is fundamental to the growth of all peoples. It is my hope that your federation will continue to work with me, not just while I am president, but even after I step down, towards fulfilling the promise of independence, in helping build a nation that serves as a wellspring of opportunity not only for our peoples, but also for our region. A society where every Filipino works hand in hand with his fellow man towards fully realizing the potential of a just and equitable Philippines. A country we can proudly bequeath to succeeding generations. And before I end, may I just respond to the very poignant and well thought of words of His Excellency Zhao Zhanhua. In my visit to the People's Republic of China, the state visit in 2011, perhaps one of the most encouraging things that we heard from then President Hu Jintao was that the disputes we do have in the sea that borders our respective lands should not be the sum total of our relationships. Our relationships are based on so many more things, not just on this dispute. And that peace and stability are necessary components for our own, well, for everybody's progress. Now, we did state that it is we are both committed to improving the lot and the circumstances of our peoples, and to hear them reiterated today truly fills our heart. Thank you for the very kind words. With that, I thank you all, and in advance, happy Independence Day to all of you. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. President. And that ends our program.